Wave to your fans.
Al, are you part of Virginia too?
No,
Okay.
I'm
Chicken.
observing and coaching.
Okay, all I really want to do is just talk to you about your family and all the kids and your husband and life.
What about him?
Just, where were you born?
In the hospital.
In what city? Your,
Kangaroo.
do you know where she was born?
Yeah, she was born in Ann Arbor along with all of her other.
So you are a Michiganer.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then how did you meet Dick?
Well, I saw him and I said, by gosh, I'm going to get him if I have to knock him over the head. So I knocked him over the head, and he was out for about 3 days. And when he came to, he was married.
And that worked
I
for
like
you?
it. I'm going to use
It
that.
worked for me,
Tell them the truth.
and I recommend it to anybody.
And you would recommend that method?
Yes, I would.
Okay. Did you meet him in school or at church?
Oh, he never goes to church. No, he's a good churchgoer.
Oh, I know. I remember. Now, see, I knew your mother-in-law. I worked here back when Edna was here, and that's when I first met you and your family. And then Dick helped us with the 25th anniversary here at Lourdes. So he's been associated, well, your family's been associated with Lourdes for
Long
a
time.
long time.
Hmm.
Luckily, we were young back then, and we're still young, right?
Yeah. We can fool the public anyway.
So what year did you get married?
Oh, I think it was 1884.
And how many children do you have?
24.
One girl and 3 boys?
She's not going to stop joking for the
I
rest
got
of
2
the
girls.
She is joking.
You have 2 girls?
One's dead, but
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah.
So you had one daughter who passed away. I do remember you telling me
My sister Mary
that.
Ann was stillborn in 1949.
And then you have Mary Jo. That's her name, your daughter's?
mhm.
And she's the oldest girl? And then who's born?
Timothy,
Tim. And he lives where?
New York
And then
City.
have you ever visited? I like New York City to visit. I wouldn't want to live there.
I haven't been there. No.
And then who came after Timothy?
Michael,
And then
John.
John. And were they all born in the Kego Harbor, Orchard Lake area? Is that where you lived then? And what school did they all go to?
Our Lady of Refuge.
They all did go to Refuge. And then your boys all went to Brother Rice?
Right. Mary Jo went to Marion.
Okay. And then where did they all went to college, all 4 of them? Good family. Is that the parish you still belong to as Our Lady of Refuge? Who's the pastor there now? I used to know who the pastor was.
Schrader.
Father
he still-
McIntyre is the pastor now, but
Okay.
he became pastor after Bob came here, so she's never
Okay.
known him. Father
Mackinhill
Murphy.
is there now.
Father
Mackinhill.
Murphy was the pastor while they were still in their house. So.
Now, which Father Murphy? Is that William or?
Yeah, William.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives down in.
He was the priest at our parish
Yeah,
back when we were
that's
kids.
How many Father Murphys are there?
Well, there's actually 2 in the Archdiocese. But when I was at grade school, I went to grade school at Immaculate Heart of Mary, and Father Murphy started there. Well, I don't know if that was his first parish, but he was one of our associates there.
Oh,
So yeah,
Good looking.
yeah. He
Dark hair.
65-ish maybe.
huh?
He's 65 maybe. I'm bad with ages.
He's over
Around there.
70 by now.
Is he now?
I'm sure, yeah.
Well, that
He
can't
he just
be.
retired.
I'm still
Well, he retired
29.
4 years ago, so I'm pretty sure he's probably 75 by now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Tell me a little bit about raising 4 children. What's your favorite kid's story? That one thing the boys did that pushed you over the edge. Mike laughs.
I love that look that she gives. It looks good kill.
All of us mothers have that look. It's a gift. Is there a good boy story that they did that you just
Why don't you tell her about the time that John was trying to be a wise guy and hid my Easter basket in the clothes dryer?
Yeah. He hid his Easter basket in the
Clothes dryer.
clothes dryer
And when did you find it?
when it was all mashed up.
Yeah, it wasn't enough for him to actually put the goods in the dryer. He had to add a little spice to it by actually turning the dryer
Oh, he
on.
turned it on himself?
Yeah,
Oh,
he turned it on.
I thought maybe somebody accidentally
younger
did
brother?
it.
Yeah, then
That's
Mother
not pretty.
was the perfect dispenser of justice. His punishment was that he had to take my basket and I got to have his basket.
Oh.
Oh,
You got what?
so you gave John Michael's basket that day after he melted all of Michael's
Yeah.
candy? Good mom. How many grandchildren do you have?
Well, let's see. I have 6 dogs and 8 grandchildren. Or is it 8 dogs and 6 grandchildren?
There are three grandchildren in Philadelphia, or Emmaus to be precise, and a brand new granddaughter in New York City. She was just born this
Oh,
past spring.
congratulations
On what?
on the new granddaughter in New York.
Oh, Maeve?
Yeah, Maeve.
Oh wow, you guys really do stick with the Irish names.
Right. And
Good job.
Patrick,
Huh?
Joseph, and Colleen are in Emmaus. So they're all very traditional Irish names too.
Yeah, Colleen is a little Irish.
Colleen, let's talk about what Mrs. Grogan did, and like as a young, because her sons are obviously creative. Mike's got film and
Mike told me that you wrote a book once. Can you tell me about that book? What did you write your book on?
ABC.
Did you-
Remember, Mom, that
did you-
we had a big family reunion in 1980 to celebrate Grandma Howard's 100th
Yeah.
anniversary of her birth? And you wrote a book about her life, remember?
I wrote a book about my mother.
That's your mom? Now what made you do that? What were you celebrating?
Her 100th birthday.
Had
She was,
Go ahead.
huh?
Had she already passed away?
Well, no.
Well,
She's 128.
yeah, she passed away in 1955. So- well, we're actually going to be publishing this, you know.
We'll have it cleared before.
What?
What we're trying. Ruth, you are funny. Anyway, what we're trying to do is just do an article on you for a newsletter, for a newspaper. That's the only reason I'm asking these questions, honey.
You want it in the paper?
Yeah,
Why?
because you're the mother behind all these kids. We're trying to time it with John's movie and his new book, and you're the woman who made all this happen.
You bet I did. I whipped them every Saturday night whether they needed it or not.
I like that. I'm
Do you
getting
want
other
that
tips
quote
now.
in the paper?
Yeah, you can quote
That was
it.
a real. So they used to say that to us, a lot. when we were growing
We'll
up.
beat you whether you need
We're
it or
gonna-
not.
We're gonna beat you every Saturday night whether you need it or not.
But you never really beat the kids, did you?
Well,
Oh,
not on
didn't I?
Saturday nights.
Not-
Sunday afternoon.
I put them in shape.
That's good. Well, somebody has to.
That's it, and I'm the one to do it.
You are funny.
Hey, we were in our 20s and she was still telling us that we weren't too old to put over me.
Is that true?
Well,
When your kids were in their 20s, they were still not old enough to put over your knee.
No,
Not too old.
in fact, I can put him over my knee right now and paddle him.
You're the mom.
Yeah, Dad used to say, "Yep, Mother believes in corporal punishment." Dad did not. Dad was a real softy.
Yeah, he was actually,
Yeah.
if I remember, yeah.
Yeah, I had to do all the discipline.
Yeah. You know that when Dad got the stick out, that you had really done something bad because he hated to discipline, and to get him mad enough to want to discipline. You knew
That
that
was
you really
bad.
messed up, yeah, so.
But you have 4 wonderful children.
She has to think about that.
I don't think she heard me. Let's go with that one. I said, but today you have 4 wonderful children.
Hey, hey, hey.
She's funny.
You are
She reminds me of my
hysterical.
mom.
Huh?
Yeah, you are hysterical. You are very funny. Now, how many brothers and sisters did you have growing up?
9.
You were one of 9?
1 of 9. 6 boys and 3 girls.
That'll make you laugh.
And tell them the most interesting part about that, Mother.
Didn't make my mother laugh.
She was one of 9 children, and in 1925, my grandfather died, leaving my grandmother to raise 9 children in the midst of the Great Depression.
How old was the oldest?
15.
Yeah,
Wow.
the oldest would have been 15, and the youngest would have been just a baby, yeah.
Wow.
Your mother was a strong
They grew up
woman.
Up here?
She
Right.
was.
They grew up up here?
You had to be.
Yeah.
To be able to raise 9 kids, even with a husband, but all alone. She never remarried.
Heck no. Once is enough.
She had already had the best. Why look at the rest?
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, through the Depression and everything.
Right.
Huh?
Through the Depression and everything, she raised 9 babies.
You know, it's surprising, but the Depression really helped us.
How?
Huh?
How did that help you?
It
I
brought
don't
everybody
know, but
closer
it
together,
helped
right?
us.
It brought everybody closer together, right?
Did it bring all of you together so you learned to love each other? You had to support each other then.
I wouldn't exactly say we loved each other, but
Yeah, they did.
Of course
yeah,
they
we
did.
did.
Now, where do you fall in the range of 9?
I was the 4th and the oldest girl.
Oh, okay.
I had 3 brothers older and 3 brothers younger.
And then 2 little sisters. Are any of them still living?
Huh?
Are any of them still living?
Yeah, she's got 2 other surviving brothers besides, all of her sisters are dead, and all brothers, but she has 1 brother in North Carolina that's still alive and 1 brother in Chelsea who's still alive.
Okay.
So.
Now, when did you know John was going to be a writer?
When it took me 10 years to teach him his ABCs.
How come it took so long, do you think?
He was stupid.
I'll get some quotes for you, Mike.
Now, Mom, I'm going to send that one to John, so if you don't want to be cut out of his will.
He what?
He's going to send that to John. Is that okay?
Yeah, send what?
You just said that John was really stupid. That's the reason why it took him a long
I
time
said-
to learn his ABCs.
John wasn't stupid. I said Mike was stupid.
If he sends that to John, he is.
You just mispronounced it.
Don't forget, I control
No, they're all
money.
smart like their mother.
They're all smart like their mother.
Uh,
I'm going to use that quote. All smart like their mother.
yeah.
Now, where did John go to college? Do you remember?
Central Michigan University, remember, Mom?
He went to Central?
He was a journalism major at Central Michigan
Is that what he
University,
did? Okay.
but he also went to 3 other schools after college. He went to 3. He has 3 graduate degrees.
Wow.
So stupid would not describe
Yeah.
your brother.
You what?
Stupid would not describe John.
Actually, make that 2 graduate degrees. Yeah, he went to 2. He was in 2 other programs after Central Michigan. 1 at Ohio State and 1
Oh,
at
sorry.
this very elite institute for journalism called the Poynter Institute down in Florida. Where they only admit like 15 people a year to it.
Wow. Now, is Marley and Me the first book John ever wrote?
Yeah.
You're so cute.
But tell her that he had been a newspaper writer for 30 years before he wrote Marley and Me. He was writing a column 3 days a week for major metropolitan newspapers until he decided to write Marley and Me. So.
Have you read Marley and Me? It's a very cute book.
I haven't had a chance yet.
But we've read it to her though, so she's
So they bought you a copy?
yeah. And it's also on
Is it
CD.
autographed?
Yeah.
John has it.
Not yet.
We'll have to
Oh,
get John
yes,
to
it
autograph
is.
it next time he's here. And then he's got a new book out
Oh, does he? What's
called
that?
The Longest Trip Home.
What's that about?
I haven't finished reading it, I'll be honest, but I think it's about the time he was called home for your dad being sick. I mean,
Well,
isn't
it's
that
about
kind
his
of,
entire life.
I mean, it's a
But
metaphor,
It does
but,
start with, it is bookended by my dad's death, okay?
okay.
And, but it starts with his birth in Detroit, 1957, and goes all the way up to the present. And, the first 150 pages or so are all about growing up in Orchard Lake and West Bloomfield. So.
Okay. And that's out. That came out a couple weeks ago.
Which one?
The Longest Trip Home. But it's all about his life, Mike said, so I'll have to finish reading it. Now, do you think he'll make that one into a movie too?
I hope not, because we're all in it.
Well, but you could be the star of that movie. If they do make that into a movie, what actress do you want to play you? You know who would be cute for you, but I think she's dead, is Helen Hayes.
Yeah.
Who?
Helen Hayes would be a good Ruth Grogan.
Or Jessica Tandy
Yeah.
would be good.
Who?
Jessica Tandy. That was one of Dad's favorite actresses.
Who really would? I
Why
think
can't
Helen
I play
Hayes would be great.
myself?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good point.
Oh, what did you say?
Why can't I play myself?
Oh, well, yeah.
Do you want to be an actress when you grow up?
Yeah, I was an actress when I was young.
In school? What did you play? What movies or plays rather were you in?
Humpty Dumpty jump on the roof. He fell off and cracked his noodle.
She's 92.
That's good.
93.
Oh, April what?
April 15th.
Oh, I'm the 12th.
I lost track of what we were talking about.
We were talking about the
Helen Hayes would play her.
Helen Hayes would be playing.
Or Jessica Tandy. I do, yeah. Somehow or another I see Helen Hayes playing you in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who would play your husband?
Mr. Hayes.
Actually, Paul Newman. Only he's passed away too. I don't know
Paul
anyone.
just passed
I
away
know.
a couple months ago. Yeah.
Would he be a good Dick Grogan?
Actually, in Marley and Me, even though Mom and Dad were not written into the script,
Mhm.
they actually did make a couple of scenes with Mom and Dad in them, and Owen Wilson's real life Mom and Dad
Oh, really?
played
Really?
Dick and Ruth.
Oh.
So
What's that?
In the movie Marley and Me, they have somebody playing John's mom and dad in the movie, and it's one of the stars' real parents are playing you.
Oh, really?
So, see, you are famous.
And the lady who plays you, Mom, couldn't remember her lines at all.
You would do better than that.
Huh?
The mom couldn't remember her lines. You would do
See,
better than that.
Jennifer Aniston was playing my sister-in-law Jenny, so she's called Jenny in the script. But Owen Wilson is called John,
Who's
so
that?
she kept getting confused. She kept calling
Calling
Owen
him
Wilson.
or Owen.
Who do you say?
The mom kept calling the man who plays John in the
Is his
movie
brother coming
his
for
real
Christmas?
name rather than John, who he was playing in the movie.
Oh.
Have you met anybody that's been in the movie? Now, is your brother going to the Hollywood
The
opening?
Hollywood
or-
premiere was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Did he get to go, or?
No, it was
No.
it was strictly a VIP invitation.
Okay, he wrote the
In
book.
fact,
You would think
he
that
even
would.
had a hard time getting tickets for his children. It was originally just supposed to be him and his wife,
Hmm.
and he had to lobby the studio to get 3 extra tickets for his children.
That's interesting. I mean, and I don't know how all that stuff works, but you would think he wrote the book, he could get whatever. Not
Well,
pretty much, but
you
no.
have no
Did he write
power
the
as an
screenplay?
author. You have no power now whatsoever.
Did he
They've been-
write-
They've been exceedingly courteous
Have they?
and accommodating to him, but traditionally the writer has absolutely no say in anything. You get a great big check when they buy your book, and after that they don't want to know. They don't want to hear from you anymore.
okay.
So he didn't write the screenplay.
No, he did not.
Okay.
They had a professional screenwriter write the screenplay.
What else do you want to tell me about your kids and raising 4 children?
Boy, was it hard.
Was it hard? Your kids were pretty good though, really, weren't they?
They were excellent.
Well, thank you, Mom.
That's why they all have such flat bottoms.
Why? Because
Huh?
you spanked them all the time?
Whether they needed it or not.
It's good for them.
She never gets tired of telling jokes.
They
She
what?
got spanked. You guys didn't get spanked?
What? Oh yeah, we got spanked, but
We got spanked.
Nah.
You did, didn't
Oh, yeah,
you?
we
Oh,
did.
yeah.
not frequently, but
No, we all got
but
spanked.
she
Today,
loved
you know,
to
you
joke
can't
about it
spank
all
your
the time,
kids.
even now.
I should have spanked my kids.
Yeah, we are not supposed to spank kids today and all this. That's crazy, isn't it? Are you okay? Now, where your home raising the kids was Orchard Lake, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Raising
My kids.
raising your kids, right? Were you in the same home for the whole time,
Yeah,
pretty
we
much?
moved there in 1958, and we still live there.
You live in the home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they lived there all the way up until the time Dad died in December.
that been 3 years?
He died December 23rd, 2004. So.
Oh, it's 4 years already.
4 years,
Wow.
yeah. And of course, Tim has been living in New York since he went there to do grad school, so he's been there for the better part of 30 years. And
Hmm.
John has been living in Philadelphia for well over 10 years now. So, and Mary Jo's been in Chelsea for many, many years too. So.
And she just got married 5 years ago, or 3
Something
years.
like that.
Yeah.
And Tim got married just 4 years ago. Tim was the last one to get married, except that for me, the perennial bachelor. But yeah, Tim got married just 2 months before Dad took ill.
You're so cute.
How about Lourdes and life at Lourdes and what's good, what's good?
Tell me a little
What's
bit
good,
about, now you remember when Edna was here, correct? What made you choose Lourdes as a place for your mother-in-law? Do you remember?
What?
What made you bring Edna here to live?
Yeah,
To
why
the
did
nursing
Dad
home,
bring
to
Grandma
Lourdes
here?
Nursing Home.
You get rid of her.
Okay, but what was it really? I know you
No.
loved her. You guys visited all the time.
Yeah. No, she was a wonderful woman. Especially when she was sleeping.
Especially when she was what?
Sleeping.
Oh, sleeping.
But what made you choose Lourdes for her?
Only thing I could afford.
Okay, not the answer we were looking for.
Dad's great aunt had been here.
Who was
and,
that?
I think it was Aunt Ida who had been here, and Dad has been involved with Lourdes since 1960. So
Okay,
whenever-
see, I didn't know before Edna even.
Whenever, I mean, there was never any question in his mind that when we needed to come
Right.
to a facility, this would be the place. Yeah. So.
Well, and that's what your brother even says in
Right.
the book,
Right.
is that,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, because I know when he was dying,
Right.
you were wondering.
Sure.
So,
You what?
when your husband was real sick, he talked about Lourdes
What did it?
in case he needed to come to a nursing home. Now, what do you think of the place you live now? Do you have everything you need?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And are you spoiled?
Yeah.
That's good. Do you deserve to be spoiled?
Yeah.
You're right, you do. And it's nice that you're close to your boy, because then he can visit.
I got 3 boys.
But this one's the only one who lives close, really, right? Now, do you all get together at Christmas, or is everybody too busy?
No. Never too busy to get them home.
It's a good way.
Are you?
We generally don't get
Yeah.
together at Christmas time.
We don't either. There's too many of
They
us.
have their own families and they celebrate on the East Coast. So.
Yeah, my mother never made us all come home for the holidays either. She said once you moved out of the house, it was time to set up your own family traditions. So we'd come home for sometime in the summer and maybe something in the winter, but it was important to set up your own family traditions. What's your favorite Christmas tradition with the kids when they were little? Did you all set up the tree together?
Do you remember?
No, they came up, down in the morning and the tree was up.
Well, that was when you were growing up. There was a tradition when she was growing up that nobody put up their Christmas tree until Christmas Eve. So
Okay.
the kids would actually go to bed with the house
Yeah.
still having no Christmas decorations.
What's
And
that?
when they got up in the morning, all the Christmas decorations would be up. But that was not the way we did it. We put up the tree as a family.
All your kids helped you put up the tree every year?
Right? But what was the special thing that we did every Christmas, Bob?
What was the one special thing you and the kids did every Christmas?
We all went to midnight mass, remember?
We ate Christmas dinner.
Did you go to midnight mass together? At Our Lady of Refuge? Were you ever in the choir? Was your dad in the choir too? Was your dad? No.
He was a freelancer.
But I was not to open my mouth.
So you were in the choir, you just couldn't sing. Yeah, that's the way I am too.
She lip syncs.
That's the beauty of being Irish, is we think we can sing. We all do think we can sing, and it's not pretty.
Not very.
But we have fun, don't we?
We do.
So next year, how old are you gonna be?
21.
Okay, that's a good age. You think it might be 93? But do you want me to put 21 in the newspaper?
Okay.
We won't put your age in the newspaper.
Let them think I'm young and beautiful
You are young and beautiful.
and
And terribly much in love.
terribly much in love.
Is that what it is? Young and beautiful and terribly much in love.
Suddenly
was,
my husband became the man I dreaded.
There was a movie that was out around 1927 or something like that Constance Bennett was in. Actually, I think it was more like 1933 because it was a sound movie. And there was this line where she is on trial for cavorting with a German spy, you know. And they asked him, why did she do this? Why did she betray her country? And she said, well, I was young and beautiful and terribly much in love. And my mother's sister, Margaret, loved that movie and would go around the house saying that all the time, so it's one of her favorite expressions now. And she can quote you from memory the entire speech that she made in the witness chair during that movie.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Isn't it funny what sticks? That is too funny. What other questions?
Hobbies.
We had a good life.
Yeah, we all enjoyed growing up in Orchard Lake.
612 Spring.
Well, you grew up at 612 Spring.
That's
Then
Ann Arbor.
when she and Dad met at the age of 30, and they got married exactly 1 year. They met on August the 16th, 1946. Dad had just gotten out of the Navy, and they got married on August the 16th, 1947, exactly 1 year. Right? Remember
You
that?
knew your husband, you knew Dick 1 year to the day you married him, huh? August 16th.
You want to tell them about how you met Dad?
How did you
That's
meet
kind of a
Dick?
humorous story.
So far, they've all been humorous.
How'd I meet him?
Well, do you want me to tell you the story?
Okay.
Remember how Dad, all of his life, always gave 10% of his earnings to the collection basket?
He what?
Remember, he always put 10% of his earnings in the collection basket
Oh,
every
yeah.
Sunday? And what happened is that he had been out to sea. He was a naval officer in the South Pacific during the Second World War. So for 3 years, he'd been out to sea without getting paid. And so when he came back into dock in San Diego, when he was getting ready to get discharged, he got 3 years of back pay. So he put 10% of 3 years of back pay in the collection basket the first Sunday that he came home. And it just so happened that my mother's brother, Father Joe, had just graduated from seminary and gotten ordained, and he was an associate pastor at my dad's home parish. And when Father Joe saw this enormous check going in the collection basket, not knowing that it was a
He said, we got to get that guy in my
Yeah.
family.
You gotta get that guy in my family. So he very quickly arranged for a golf date,
That
in
is
which,
so funny.
just coincidentally, his sister Ruth would just run into her sister Ruth on the way.
So it was a total setup, huh?
By
Yeah.
a priest.
It was a total setup by your brother.
Uh-huh.
Well, that worked out well. Wait, by her brother or your dad's brother?
This is her brother,
Her brother.
Father Joe. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
That is so funny. It's a good thing he did that, wasn't it? That is too
If
funny.
he hadn't, I'd broken his arm.
Well, there's always that.
Yeah.
And you were the big sister, so you could do that, right? Now, is he still living, or he's passed away?
Who? Father Joe.
Father
Father
Joe.
Joe passed away in 1991. Yeah. He was born in 1910, so he was 6 years older than Mom
Okay.
was. So
Ooh,
Father Joe was 6 years older than you. And
he was
passed
born
away
in 1910.
Yeah, he passed away in 1991.
So you're pretty good with dates, huh?
If they're good looking.
What kind of hobbies do you enjoy?
Sleeping.
Hobbies?
hmm When you were raising your kids, what did you like to do?
Eat.
She was an excellent
Actually,
cook.
sadly,
She loved to cook.
I like that too. Do you like to cook?
I mean, not anymore, but she used to.
Yeah, I do.
What's your favorite thing to cook? What's your favorite meal to cook? Do you have one?
What's my favorite meal, Michael?
Well, I mean, I think you had a lot of favorites, but the one that you taught me that was my favorite was broccoli and chicken, broccoli and chicken casserole. But you also did a really good spaghetti. You had one of the best spaghetti sauce recipes anywhere.
That's what?
Do you still
Spaghetti
have-
sauce
Yeah, we
recipe.
still had the recipe. It was handed down to her from her grandmother, and her grandmother got it from her mother. You know.
So it's not something in her head, it's really on paper.
Well, it used to be. I'll have to check the family archives.
You don't make it?
I haven't. I haven't made it for years.
Check
no.
those archives. I'd
Yeah.
love to have
Yeah.
it.
But it's fantastic.
You could put
spaghetti
together a
sauce.
cookbook.
Huh?
You could write a cookbook.
If you didn't care what you ate.
Good point. What else do you like to do besides cook?
Who said I like to cook?
Well, Michael was sharing that you like to cook.
Was she creative?
Yeah, she was creative. She liked to write children's stories. She liked to write Bible stories. She always used to make up some wonderful Bible stories just out of the top of her head when she was telling a story.
I used to what?
Make up Bible stories and children's stories?
Used
You-
to make up wonderful stories of Jesus when he was a little boy.
And then the next day they'd, Mama, tell me that story. And if I didn't tell it exactly like I had said the day before, he'd get so mad. And I couldn't
would all say,
remember
"No,
what I
that's
told
not
him.
what happened."
Did you write any of them down?
With,
That's too bad.
oh, there's a new movie coming out with, not Ben Stiller, who's the other guy? Adam Sandler.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
telling the kids the story and the story comes alive.
That's right. Yeah.
They
I've
what?
seen the previews.
There's a new movie coming out where a man's telling his kids bedtime stories, and the next day the stories come alive. That'd be kind of
That would
cool.
be fun.
So maybe that's where John gets his creativity, is from you.
Yeah, I think John
Yeah.
credited her with that.
Yeah, I
in his
think he
book.
does.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid, though.
Oh, it's good. If you could tell stories, then he's a good storyteller. That's a good trait. It's a good thing to have passed
Am I a
on.
good storyteller?
You're the best. You're where we all got it from.
So
And John
that's good.
says so in his book. John says that you're the one who taught him how to spin a good yarn.
That's a good thing,
What?
to be able to tell a story and make it interesting. Lots of people can tell stories. That doesn't mean I want to hear it.
Does he come to see your mom?
Who?
Your brother.
Well, he's in town, yeah, but they're in town maybe a couple, 3 times a year. So yeah.
What?
She was asking when John comes to visit, but a couple or 3 times a year. From Philadelphia, that's good.
Yeah.
You know, it's just far enough away that it's, it's not like Toledo. Or Orchard Lake. See, if he had stayed close, it would have been easier, huh? But you raise your kids to grow up and be on their own.
And you grow a beard.
She doesn't like my beard.
She doesn't like
Why
it.
don't you like his beard?
For one thing, it's too white. For another thing, it's too fuzzy. For another thing,
We just asked for one reason.
Yeah, we just asked for one reason, but you keep going. You're the mom. That's the beauty of being the mother.
Once a mom,
You can
once a
still
mom.
put him over your knee and you can still tell him how to shave his beard, huh? Would you recognize him if he shaved it off?
probably not.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, just bump the camera a little bit.
What else would you like to tell me? Anything?
Tell you that I came from Kalamazoo. Do you know where that?
Where did you go to college? You didn't. Did you go to college?
Yeah,
Where did you go?
University of Michigan.
And that's where Dick went, or Dick didn't go to college?
Yeah, he did.
Did he go to U of M too?
He graduated from U of M, but he spent his first 3 years at General Motors Institute up in Flint.
Okay.
Then he came, see, General Motors Institute at that time in the 30s was not a degree granting institution. So he went to University of Michigan for a year so that he could get his degree. Yeah.
What's your degree
And then
in?
to the Navy.
Huh?
What is your degree in?
In getting out of trouble.
Yeah, I bet you barely made it through
Getting in
that.
trouble.
I had a hard time.
Staying out of trouble? I bet you did.
You want to tell him about when you got in trouble falling into the Huron River when you were a little girl?
What that?
When you were a girl, did you want to tell him about the time you got into a lot of trouble when you fell into the Huron River
Did you fall into the Huron River?
Oh.
in Ann Arbor?
What happened?
Fell in quicksand.
What were you doing on the river?
Huh?
What were you doing on the river?
That's what my mother wanted to know.
Yeah, she had been given strict instructions not to go in the river, but I can't remember exactly what the circumstances were why you had to go in the
No,
river.
I said to my mother, I was supposed to be babysitting. And I said, can we go up on top of the hill? And she said, yeah, I guess so. So I get up on top of the hill, and that's across from the cemetery. And I said, let's go down on the other side. So I had 4 kids, 1, almost 3, 4, and 5. And I took them down, and there was a ladder that went down to the main street. So I took each one under my arm, one under my arm, and I went down the ladder, and I left them down there, and I went back up, and I got another one and brought them down and left them there until I got all 4 down. And then I crossed the main street, which was like a highway that goes out to Whitmore Lake. And I took the kids across that. And then there was a bridge that went across the river. And I took them over the bridge. And we leaned over and saw all the water flowing down. Beautiful sight. And then we went and got on this path, and we went down this path, and then we go this path over here and around the river. And which one of the kids fell in?
Well, somebody fell in and you went in to get them, And then you started getting caught up in the current, and you were in very imminent danger of drowning. And there was this homeless black man who was just walking by, and he jumped into the river and he pulled all the kids to safety.
Wow.
So
It was
tell
a
the rest.
boy.
So you're lucky you're here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But tell the rest of the story now, because the best part is coming.
What's that?
How about how you got the kids' clothes all dried off and everything, and then you told Leo, who was the baby,
Oh, I said,
specifically?
don't you kids tell Mama
There you go.
that we went down to the river.
How old is she?
No,
She's
Ruthie,
probably 10
no.
by this time, yeah.
And Leo, don't you dare tell Mama. No, Ruthie, no. We didn't anymore get in the door. Mama, guess what? We went down to the river and Ruthie fell in. So you know what happened to Ruthie?
She got in trouble.
She got in trouble.
But tell her about what happened to Irene, who was one of your friends from next door who went with you, because you always thought that you got the better end of the deal, remember? Tell her about what happened.
And there was the telephone logs or poles tied together across triangulate across the river there, and we were all on it, and so I didn't want to be on it anymore. So what do? I jumped off, and what does the telephone pole do?
It twirls.
Spun around, and Irene and Mary Agnes fell in. And Irene comes out, and she's holding on to the telephone log, and Mary Agnes is holding on to Irene, and Irene keeps yelling, Mary Agnes, let go. There's no need of both of us drowning.
That's what friends are for.
Right. But then,
And I said,
yeah.
Mary Agnes, don't let go, don't let go.
But then tell them, when they got home, their grandma found out about it because the boys all blabbed.
Right?
Bob got a spanking for her part in the day's activities, but Irene was adopted by the next door neighbor, and the next door neighbor had always said she would never spank a child that was not hers. So Irene did not get a spanking, but Irene was, from that day forward.
Irene never got a spanking for anything, and I always got a spanking for everything.
Right. But Irene was forbidden to go swimming again. So Mom always thought that she got the better end of the deal because the spanking was over with in 10 seconds,
Yeah.
but Irene spent the rest of her life not being able to swim.
Wow.
So,
That's quite a punishment, never to swim again. I mean, I could see for the next month, but
Yeah.
that's a long time.
And whenever we'd go swimming, and I'd want Irene to go, she'd ask Mrs. Fink to go if she could go.
Couldn't do it.
Remember?
right.
Hmm.
And
You don't
even
go
when
swimming
Irene
ever
became an
again.
adult, she
Huh?
was forever after afraid of the water. She never did go in the
Swim
water
again.
even as an
Hmm.
adult after that. So Mom got the better end of the deal.
Yeah, I guess she did.
That's funny.
I always got the spanking for everything.
But you came out okay.
Huh?
You came out okay even after all the
I
spankings.
got a flat bottom.
Can you think of any other good stories to tell? Well, tell them about the time that you pretended to be telephone repairman to make a joke on your next door neighbor, Mrs. Fink.
Oh.
That's a good story.
I called up Mrs. Fink,
Mhm.
and she had a phone that hung on the wall, you know, and she was one of these old-fashioned ones. So I called her and I said, Mrs. Fink, this is the telephone company, and I'm checking out the telephones. And she said, okay. And I said, now maybe you better get some newspapers and put them down on the floor and around the wall. So she tacks up newspaper on the wall and on the floor. And so then I said, now blow in. And so here she is.
Yeah, she was telling Mrs. Fig that there was dirt in the line and she had to blow the lines out to clean them out.
It's the greatest wonder in the world she ever
Yeah.
even spoke to the Howard family.
Tell
she-
them about how she used to give you a ride to church every morning. And how you did that.
She would have back out, and she'd park right alongside of our side door, and she'd honk the horn, and we'd still be in bed. And I'd get up and I'd open up the window and I'd say, "Be right out, Fig."
And they got dressed and washed and clothed and everything.
And got to
3
church.
minutes.
And you got to church. That's so funny.
Isn't it funny?
Well, she always left 15 minutes early.
Now you sound like my kids.
Huh?
Now you sound like my kids. They think arriving 5 minutes late is okay.
Oh,
That's funny. You're an amazing woman. Do you know that?
who is?
You are. Yeah, I'm talking to you and you know it. You are.
Amazing what?
You're an amazing person.
Amazing grace.
No, amazing Ruth.
How cold you are.
I mean, besides raising 4 kids, you've done a lot in your life.
Mhm.
You know, being one of 9 kids with no dad during the Depression, that made you strong. You know, you got lucky and you married a wonderful man.
Well, you know, God does things His way.
That's right.
And when we grew up, He put Joe, who was the oldest. And Joe, what I was going to tell you, Joe was a happy-go-lucky guy. And he had all the girls crazy about him. He was handsome, just like his sister.
Of course.
And but
But God takes care of you.
he does.
How many years were you and Dick married? You must have been close to 55
They were
anyway.
close to 60 actually. I mean, they were married in 48. He died in 04, so I think it was
Well, it's
just
56
after the 56.
or-
Yeah,
okay.
right after the 56.
You what?
anniversary.
We were trying to think how long you and Dick were married before he passed away.
So yeah, I think it was 56 years, wasn't it? Yeah.
Pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So you had a wonderful marriage, and now you have 4 grandbabies. Did you ever have dogs when you had kids? Did you ever have puppies when the kids were little?
We had one,
What was his name or her name?
Amos.
What
that
kind
was,
of
that was at Ann Arbor. That was when you were
Oh,
growing
when-
up. Yeah.
what kind of dog was it?
He was about this big and was white. And I hate to say it, but we killed him.
I've never heard the answer before, so I don't know if she's telling the truth now or not.
How did you do
For
that?
dinner.
Yeah.
We fed him bologna, the skins off from the bologna.
Oh, yeah.
And every noon we would run over to the corner store and we'd get a pound of bologna and 3 loaves of bread. And we'd wait for the baker to come so that we got fresh bread. And now what was I going to say?
You were talking about
You were talking
feeding
about-
Amos, your puppy.
Feeding Amos the bologna.
Oh yeah, and we loved bologna sandwiches, and we'd pull the skin off, you know, and we'd throw it on the floor, and he'd eat these skins. And I think that's what killed him.
How old was he?
Huh?
How old was he?
Was he just a puppy?
Huh?
Or was he older?
Was he a puppy or was he an older dog?
He was a little older.
Yeah, I
Okay.
bet he lived a good long life. My dog eats everything. Everything. He's not dying.
But tell them about the dog that we grew up with, Sean.
Who?
Sean.
Who's Sean? Was
Sean
that
was the dog that we grew
Sean?
up with. Yeah.
Sean? He was the best dog.
so not like
He did
mine.
everything to please you.
Kind of like your kids.
Now, he was quite a bit more to the pleasing aspect than the kids were. But he was an outstanding dog.
What kind of dog was he?
He was a
Just a
little
mutt?
retriever mix.
Okay.
He was about the size of a collie, but he looked more
Oh,
like a
that's-
retriever than anything else.
Did you pick him out, or did the kids?
The kids.
The
Yeah.
kids did.
John did.
It was
didn't
John's dog, yeah. We got John. We got it when John was like in the 4th grade or something like that, and it was supposed to be his dog, but of course it became the family dog.
Right. Any other pets? Cats or birds or anything?
Yeah, we had a bird.
Claire,
Huh?
Claire,
Clear.
And
he was a parrot.
he used to, Margaret would take him out of his cage, and he would sit on her shoulder, and so she was wiping up the kitchen floor, and he was on her shoulder, and when she got through wiping up the floor, she went to throw the water out, and she went like that, and it scared him, and he flew off, and we never saw him again.
Now that was in Ann Arbor.
Okay.
That was when she was growing up.
Huh?
Yeah, I didn't think your sister's name was Marge, and I didn't think you guys threw the or the water out.
Huh?
So did you have a bird when you were a kid too, or is this a?
Yeah, we
Okay.
had parakeets when I was young, and then when we were older, we
He
had
was going to
parrots.
become a millionaire breeding parakeets.
They're never going to let me live this one down.
Mike was. That was Mike's goal, was to be a millionaire
He
breeding.
had
parakeets.
one bird was a grandmother, and the other was a male.
The other was a little boy. But you're the one who bought the 2 birds. So
Is that
it wasn't
true?
my fault that they
You
didn't.
bought the 2 birds.
Do you
Yeah.
still have birds today?
No, I don't
Did you
have-
buy the 2 birds? But you're blaming it on Mike. Good job.
She bought me a grandma bird and a teenager bird, a grandma and a teenage boy bird, and then we wondered why they never mated.
That's actually good. Did you ever have cats or rabbits?
Cats. No rabbits.
Gerbils or hamsters? They're a pain in the. Actually, we just had a rat die. The rats are easy to take care of if you're looking for a pet.
What?
Rats.
A rat?
They're easy to take care of.
R-A-T?
Yeah, that's the one.
A little white rat, right?
Yeah,
The kind of,
they really are easy
Yeah.
to take care of.
and the white rats are very friendly and everything. They're not like the kind of rats that you see in the dumpster, in the sewers. Yeah.
Are you okay? Are you getting tired?
Got a sore spine.
Well, we've been going for almost 55 minutes
Oh,
now,
really?
We
so.
should probably wrap it up.
What one final thought do you want for this newspaper
You
article?
can still photo off your video. Can you do
That I had a wonderful childhood.
You had a wonderful
that?
childhood?
Come back and get a photo.
And my mother was
probably should have brought my camera, my still camera.
responsible for that.
Okay.
Okay,
She made sure that us kids had fun.
that's good. And then did you do the
Just
same for
before
your
the first
kids?
year, I'm gonna get it to the printer.
Okay, I don't know what I'll be
No, I let them make their own
Well,
fun.
We have permission.
But
to
they
have
did a
someone
good job
do
of
a
it.
photo.
You were a good mom. I really do believe that. I remember when Edna was here and your kids would visit her, and they learned that from their parents. Kids don't visit grandparents unless their parents, you know. So yeah, you did. I remember.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's good. And your kids still love you today. They wouldn't visit you if they didn't. They wouldn't remember you. You're a good mom. You left a good legacy.
Remember that.
I will remember that.
He remembers that. Your kids all do.
Yeah, I've got 4 good kids.
Have you met the new grandbaby? You have.
Yes.
Oh, you did?
Twice. They brought her home in March when she was 7 weeks old, and in October when she was 7 months old. And we got lots of video with Grandma with her at both occasions. You know.
And what's her name? You told me. And I don't-
Maeve, M-A-E-V-E.
That's a good Irish name.
Named for a ancient Celtic warrior princess. The legend goes that when the Romans were invading, it was before Ireland was even known as Ireland. When the Romans were invading the Celts, she organized her village and repelled the Roman invasion.
Wow.
So she was a warrior princess. But I don't know whether it's legend or fact. So
It's always fact if it's from Ireland.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We don't have legend in Ireland. We only have facts. All the history of Ireland is true. There really are leprechauns. And there really is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And you can drink Guinness every night and not be a drunk.
Well, the last part.
Bring it on.
First.
Bring it on.
I wish
Bring
the
it
second
on.
one was true.
What, honey?
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
Bring it
Do you
on.
like Guinness? Have you ever had Guinness beer? It's really dark. It's a strong
It's
beer.
terrible stuff.
Yeah, it's very dark.
I don't like beer.
Do you like Bailey's? I like Bailey's Irish.
Yeah, she likes
Cream.
Bailey's.
There is nothing better than
Yeah.
but the sad thing is it goes down so smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bailey's is good.
Is it?
Oh yeah. You'll have to have some for Christmas.
Yeah, we usually give her a little shot of Bailey's every Christmas.
It's good for you, you know.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, keeps you young.
Well, give it in.
Bring it on.
We need to start putting it on your cereal in the morning.
Oh.
That would be good.
Well, thank you very much, honey. I like talking to you. I always have.
Yeah.
Yes. You're very interesting, and you've got a
Yeah.
great sense of humor.
That I do have.
Yes, you do.
And that's what's kept you young. I mean, I know the number is big. We won't talk about what the number is, but it's a big number. But you still are very young.
What number is big?
Your age.
She's going to say, speak for yourself.
21. It's a big number. Aren't you 21 years old? How old are you?
16.
Okay, see, not nearly as big as when we started this conversation. You keep getting younger. It's the Baileys.
Yeah.
Bailey's?
Baileys makes you young.
Okay, I'm young.
If only it were that easy. Well, thank you,
Thanks for doing
sweetie.
this, Mike.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it. Thanks for doing this.
Oh, sure,
Appreciate
yeah.
it.
Okay,
This will be
why don't
good. You know,
both-
he kept that on video. Say hello to all the
Yeah, why don't
kids
you
and
say hello to
grandkids.
the family, Bob.
Hi, family.
Okay.
I love you.
Well, that's as good a